Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Demetrius Johnson, and you're listening to MMALatestNews.com.
It's time to roll, baby.
This is Day Knows MMA. And just like that, Conor McGregor versus Donald Cerrone is just over a week away. We knew coming into this year that as soon as we got back from holidays that this fight was going to be queued up and ready to go. Given the short turnaround period from when the fight was first announced until fight day, we knew that for this contest the media appearances would be a lot less than usual, especially for a McGregor fight. But I don't know if we realized how little promotion there would be. As of yesterday, it was announced that there's going to be a press conference for UFC 246 on Wednesday, and that there's going to be no open workouts. The media appearances for this fight are so minimal, and I absolutely love it. I think it's just what the doctor ordered when you take into consideration the over-the-top craziness of the build-up of the fight between Khabib and McGregor, as well as all the awful press, court appearances, and allegations that have been surrounding McGregor over the past couple of years. Scaling things back for this fight is definitely the right call. I'm not downplaying the incredible performance McGregor has put on at press conferences over the years by any means. Comedically, he is brilliant, and as an onstage performer, he's been astonishing at times. But there was a time and place for the shenanigans, and this time around, there's no place for the shenanigans. Of course, anything could go down at that press conference on Wednesday. But in an ideal world, McGregor dials back on the need to be shocking and provide sound bites, and goes back to the McGregor from the early days of him being in the UFC, just being naturally charismatic and funny, but with a lot more emphasis on the articulate technical talk. A nice gentlemanly press conference from both men would be a welcome departure from what we've come to expect from McGregor. Speaking of media and fight build-up, I see a lot of comments out there on the interwebs talking about how every bit of the promotion everybody's seeing is about the return of McGregor. No mention of the fact that he's fighting Donald Cowboy Cerrone. Just the fact that this is the Conor McGregor show. And I get it. In theory, Cerrone deserves every bit as much face time in those promos as McGregor's getting. He is one of the most fan-favorite fighters in this sport and holds the UFC record for fight night performances with 18. But the reality is, promotional-wise, it's in the best interest of sales to have the whole thing be about McGregor. I don't like that it's this way, but promotion's gotta promote. So be it. In all likelihood, Cerrone doesn't even care as long as the check cashes. But one thing I am noticing in this fight that has very little promotion to begin with, and the little promotion that there is all centers around McGregor, is that I'm getting an impression that a lot of people are counting Cerrone out. There seems to be a whole lot of talk of Conor taking on the winner of Khabib and Ferguson, or if it'll be Gaethje that he fights next, etc. I will admit that stylistically, and based on the performance history of these two, I definitely understand McGregor being the betting favorite. Cerrone is known to be a slow starter, and in my opinion, one of McGregor's very best qualities is how relaxed and composed he performs in the first few minutes of a fight. He's one of the best we've seen in that regard. And while Cerrone is certainly very durable and has much improved his boxing defense over the years, he's still susceptible to absorbing shots early, and McGregor poses a great danger with the power in his left hand in the first round when he's fresh. There's also a bit of a narrative on Cowboy when it comes to the high-profile fights, how he's often unable to rise to the occasion when the stakes are at their highest. But it's absolutely insane to think that Cowboy can't show up on the 18th and tip over the apple cart. In fact, I think there's a really good chance it could happen. I'm not sitting here today saying I'm predicting him to do so. For me, it's far too early to make such a claim. But what I do know is that if the McGregor that fought Khabib shows up, Cerrone's chances of pushing past that first round increase exponentially. And in turn, so does his chances of scoring the upset victory. But I do think that we're likely to see a better version of McGregor this time around. But only time will tell if that's the case. Either way, I do believe that even if a prime McGregor shows up on fight night, if he's met with a prime Cerrone, we're in for one hell of a fight. So while I do see where people are coming from in favoring Conor, I'm just saying, it's just when you think that Cowboy is starting to slow down a little and showing signs of perhaps having his best days behind him, that he saddles up, goes out there, and kicks someone's ass.